Hey, what's up guys? My name is Elias and welcome to your 8th tutorial on jQuery. And in this tutorial we are going to continue working on our chatbot. And as you know, in the previous tutorials we created this simple interface for our chatbot, and we also added the send on enter function so that jQuery tracks enter key, and you can prevent creating a new line and stuff. But for now, this chatbot, well, this interface, this web page, it looks pretty boring because I enter the text and I press enter or whatever. I just click send and nothing is happening. So I don't really see anything. And what are we going to do in this tutorial? When I click send, I want this text box to get empty, and I want this text which I entered to appear right here in the dialog box. And every time I basically enter a new message, I want this new message to be appended to this dialog. So this is basically what we are going to do now. So now let's go back to our code writing mode. As I said, one of the things I want to implement is I want the text box to get empty after I click send, after I send the message. So let's just go ahead and do that. Before we continue, we have to create an kind of action listener for the send button. So we have to track this event when the user clicks the send button. So let's just go ahead and create a new jQuery selector for the create button. And let me check real quick. Its ID is send, so I can just copy that. And as you remember, it has an ID, so I use this route and just type send. And then we can use the jQuery click event, which we already used in the previous tutorials. So just click function, and within this curly brackets, you guys enter your code, which will execute when the send button is clicked. So what I want to happen is I want to clear my text box basically. So I'll just say text box. You know, jQuery is very easy to use. You just use the simple keywords and it does a lot of stuff for you. And so what I want to do is I think I can just say val and just path empty value to it. Let's test it. I'm not sure about that. All right, let's just reload the page. Make sure you guys reload the page every time you make some changes into your document. All right, so I enter some text and I click send. Yes, and it works. So the text box gets empty. So the next step, I want the same to happen when I press the enter key and send on enter is checked. So as you remember, in the last tutorial we did this feature. We made this feature, I mean. So if event which equals 13, and 13 stands for enter. If you're familiar with other programming languages, you have to know that 13 stands for the enter key. Alright, now let me get rid of this. We don't need it anymore, and we use it in the last tutorial to check our functionality. And now we have two options how to make the text box empty when users press the enter key on the keyboard. We can actually copy this line of code we used in the send click event and paste it right here, or we can do something better. Instead of having same lines of code in the both events, we can just copy this event, but just don't copy function, copy only dot click, and paste it right here like this, and then close it with a semicolon. And now what jQuery does is the following. If I press the enter key and the checkbox is checked, if the checkbox is checked, jQuery will run the same code as if a user would click the send button with the mouse. So let's just go ahead and check it, test it. And now I check send on enter and I press enter and it gets empty. I'm afraid we can't make it anymore in this tutorial, in this video, to add this further functionality I was talking about. So we'll just do it in the next tutorial. And thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you kind of learned new stuff. We actually didn't learn a lot this tutorial, but I promise you guys in the next tutorial we'll really learn some cool stuff. So have a nice day, guys, and I'll see you next tutorial.